Most NFL teams have good receivers, but not every team has a receiver who forces a defense to declare itself before the ball is even snapped. That is the difference between having weapons and having a true WR1. And that is exactly what Mike Evans changes for the San Francisco 49ers. This is not about his stat line. This is about structure, spacing, leverage, and why one real boundary receiver can make the entire offense cleaner for Brock Purdy. If you want to understand why this matters, start with the concept. A true outside receiver, what the game calls a true X, does not just add another route to the tree. He functions as a coverage dictator. He lines up on the boundary, often on the line of scrimmage, often against the defense's best corner, and he has to win without motion, without creative alignments, without designer help. His value begins before the snap. He forces the defense to make a decision just by being where he is. Mike Evans is 6'5", 231 pounds. He left Tampa Bay, where he could have made significantly more money to come to San Francisco. He holds an NFL record with 11 consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons to open a career. He chose contention over a bigger contract. That tells you something about how he sees this team. Now here's the part the 49ers have been missing. Their passing game has been built around versatility, motion, yards after catch, layered concepts, receivers who get repositioned across formations. That system works. Kyle Shanahan is elite at design. But what it has not consistently given Brock Purdy is a defined, reliable outside answer. A receiver he can trust in isolation on the boundary when the play is tight, coverage is pressing, and the ball has to come out now. Evans is that answer. The key is what Brock Purdy is seeing before the snap. When Evans is isolated outside, the defense has a decision tree, and every branch of that tree costs them something. If the defense plays true single coverage and leaves the corner alone outside, Purdy has an immediate answer. The ball can come out with conviction because the matchup favors San Francisco. If the defense rotates a safety over to take away the vertical and boundary game, the middle of the field opens. George Kittle gets cleaner space on seam routes. Play action windows get easier. The run game faces lighter conflict from second-level defenders. If the defense tries to stay in a too-high shell structurally, Shanahan's intermediate concepts, already among the best in the league, become easier to execute because the back end is already declared. And if the defense presses, Evans has back shoulder timing, catch radius, and the kind of physical experience that turns press corners into problems, not advantages. The first win for a true WR1 happens before the snap. He makes the defense tell the truth. Once Evans is isolated outside, every defensive decision creates the next advantage for San Francisco. That is the cascade effect. Evans does not need to catch every ball to affect every rep. His presence alone bends the shape of the coverage. If the corner is on an island, the ball goes outside. If help rotates over, Kittle's seam routes become cleaner. If underneath defenders widen to help with route stress, the middle opens behind them. Christian McCaffrey gets lighter conflict boxes. Christian Kirk and Ricky Pearsall see better matchup slots because they are no longer asked to be the primary answer. But here is the piece that matters most. Evans changes the offense when the play is not perfect. Protection is late. The timing gets bumped. Coverage wins early. Purdy has to improvise. Before Evans, some of those broken plays became disasters. With Evans on the boundary, some of those broken plays become chances. His size, catch radius, strength, and experience give Purdy an emergency exit that did not exist before. Brock Purdy has talked about exactly this, how rare it is to have a target outside who you can trust in a one-on-one isolation shot, and how that changes how aggressively you can throw. The same logic holds in the red zone. The field compresses down there. Space disappears. Routes get shorter. That is where size, timing, and physical leverage become more valuable than pure separation ability. Evans has finished in the top 10 in receiving touchdowns 7 times in his career. His fade command, back shoulder ability, and high point skill give San Francisco touchdown answers, not just yardage. That is a different category of value. This is not a small detail. This changes everything about the ceiling of this offense. Now let's be honest. Evans is not the version of himself who dominated Tampa Bay for a decade. He is 33 years old. He is coming off an injury-shortened 2025 season where he played just 8 games. Those questions are real, but here's the answer. San Francisco does not need peak Evans. They need his traits: size, catch radius, red zone finishing, one-on-one boundary credibility, and a clean answer when the play breaks down. If those traits are still intact and the contract San Francisco built with incentives tied to receiving performance and playoff snaps suggest they believe they are, then the impact is real, even if the box score looks different than his Tampa prime. In January, defenses tackle better, disguise more, and punish hesitation. That is when having a receiver who can simply win outside becomes the most valuable thing on the field. January football is not always about the prettiest concept. Sometimes it is about who has the grown man answer when the defense covers everything else. The 49ers have had weapons. Now they have an answer. Mike Evans does not just add production to this offense. He changes the geometry. A true WR1 forces coverage decisions before the ball is ever snapped. He organizes the rest of the offense. He gives the quarterback permission to be more aggressive. And if Evans gives San Francisco the traits this offense has been missing in one player, this is not just a nice veteran addition. That is what a clean #1 wide receiver means. And that is why Mike Evans could change everything for San Francisco.